Hi, I just want to have a chat. I want to talk about how I think life is unfair. Of course, the situation is only about me, about what happens in my country. I'm not gonna name it, you can guess it. I know the situation isn't like this in most countries. In most countries, this doesn't apply, but in Balkan countries, I think in most of them, it does. So, long story short, I'm 12th grade, just finished it. I had my final exams. I was basically a straight A student. So the grading system in my country is from 1 to 10. Basically a negative grade, an F, is considered from like a 4 and below, and the rest is positive, I guess. So I studied very hard this year for my final exams because in my country and in the country where I want to apply to go to university to continue my studies, the most important grades are the ones that you get from this final exam. So they're taken in consideration for the most part. So if you want to apply somewhere and to be like 100% accepted, you have to have a high grade, the final exams. In my country, there are 4 final exams. Well, it depends. It can be 5 if you are not a native Romanian speaker. You have 5. If you're a native, you have 4. So I just got my results from my exams, and my average grade is a 9.0, which is high, I guess. It's not the lowest. It's basically a 10 if you really think about it. But this grade really affects me. I know it might seem stupid to most of you guys. It sounds stupid to me too, because I always thought that 9 is a very high grade. But I wanted to become a doctor, so let me put you guys into context. My dream in life was to become a doctor. I really wanted to go and study in Romania, like to move from my country. I was ready to leave basically everything behind, to leave my brother, my parents, my cat, which I love very much, just to basically leave my home, to go to Romania and study to become a doctor, a cardiologist more specifically, or a heart surgeon. I really wanted to cure the heart. I don't know why. This was basically my calling, I guess. I just really wanted to become a doctor. I wanted to cure people's hearts because I feel like the heart is an important muscle in our bodies. I feel like it contains more than just like the pumping of the blood. It's more than that. It contains the soul of a person. I feel like that was my meaning. That was what I was supposed to become. That was everything to me for, of course, I'm not gonna say my whole life, but like for the past 3 years, which was like my high school years. This was my dream. I wanted to cure the most important muscle in the body, in my opinion, and the muscle that contains our soul. Because I feel every heart problem is because the soul is hurt. And you have to cure the soul, then you have to cure the heart. And they wanted to help cure them both, if you know what I mean. The problem is that I can't apply to go to Romania with a 9.0 final grade. I'm not gonna get accepted. This is a fact. I can apply as an international student and pay like, I don't know, 8,000 euros. This might not seem like a lot to you guys, but for me and from where I am from, and from my possibilities, my financial possibilities, that is not possible. I have a brother, I have a family that needs to survive. I can't pay that much for 6 years, and I'm not gonna count all the accommodations for living, the food, I can't afford all of that. This is why I studied so hard for the past year. Not for like the past year, for the past 3 years. I got the best grades in like my parallel this year, basically like all the 12 grades. I had the highest grade, 9.79 was my average. It's not that high, of course, but it's still an achievement to me. I participated in Olympiads this year. I don't know how to say that correctly. I think it's Olympiads. I got the first place. Then I went to in the school, I got the first place. Not from my city or anything. But it's still an achievement to me, which I worked very hard for. Of course, I'm not the smartest person to exist, but I just want to cry. I just want to vent. This is why I'm making this video. Because I feel like it's so stupid that an exam has to decide your whole life. It's so fucking stupid because I know I didn't deserve this grade. I got a 10 at English. I got a 10 at chemistry, which I worked really hard for. Then I got an 8 in history and an 8 on Romanian, which I know I wouldn't be this mad if I deserved these grades. I know I didn't. I know I studied. I saw my tests after they were graded. My grades were lowered for nothing. I wrote those tests perfectly. I looked at the grading system after the test was finished. All my answers matched with it. I studied really hard. I know I wrote the exam perfectly. I downloaded my exams. I have them saved and they were graded in a PDF format. So I have everything. I sent, after I got my results, I went and contested the results. Today I got the contestation results. Nothing changed. I'm not surprised. I'm just more venting about the corruption in my country. Because the people that allegedly, and I can't say that I know for a fact, but the people that allegedly bought the exams from the teachers that graded them, I know they got a 10. I looked at the results. But those people didn't study at all in high school. Like, they didn't study even half as much as I did, which is not fair. How did they get a 10 and I got an 8? How did my future get ruined? Because I didn't go to a teacher and gave them 500 euros and was like, hey, so this is 500 euros. I'm giving it to you. You're gonna grade me with a 10, okay? Okay. I didn't do that, and it's so fucking painful because I wanted to do things correctly, and in the end, I got the messed up outcome. It's not fair. It's not fair that an exam has to decide your whole life. It's not fair that this year specifically, the head of, I don't know, educational administration in our country decided that they wanted to keep the students inside our country and wanted to motivate us to not go away, to not move, to not emigrate. How am I gonna tell you this? If we get low results and we get this mad about our low results, we are more motivated to go away. If we were to get high grades and we didn't have to pay for them, nobody would want to move away. this country would have potential then. I'm so frustrated right now because I know for a fact, I can't prove it, of course, but I know for a fact that a person in my class, at least, that didn't study the whole year and got a 10 in Romanian because they knew the person that was gonna grade their paper. Because they're basically, how am I gonna say, relatives, they're relatives. So it's not fair at all. It's not fair that my dreams were crushed like this when I know I studied a lot, when I showed my exams after they were graded to other teachers. Let's say that the Romanian teacher which I showed is one of the best teachers in the country, and the history teacher that I showed my history paper is also a very important figure. I'm not gonna name because I don't want their identities to be out there. But I showed them my papers and they both told me that my works were perfect. I'm gonna attach here a few photos, I think 2 photos, where you can clearly see that I was graded maximum points, and then the points were basically like marked with an X, and I got 2 points less just for me to not get a 9 but to get an 8, which I think is really stupid. I'm gonna attach an image. No, I'm not gonna attach. I'm just gonna say it because I don't want you guys to know where I'm from. I just want you to speculate. We had to write an essay in history about the integration in the European Union, something like that. And we had to write a personality, basically to name a personality. It wasn't important to describe what did the person do, how is it important to that subject, etc., etc. I wrote a personality in the first paragraph and I got 0 points because I didn't name a personality. How is that possible? Because I literally wrote their full name and you're giving me 0 points because I didn't name anyone? How is that fair? I'm frustrated. I really wanted to become a doctor, but because of what I personally think is corruption, my dreams are crushed. I don't know what to do. I don't see any meaning in my future anymore. I'm gonna try next year to apply as a doctor. Hopefully I'm gonna, gather some money to fund my studies. I'm gonna work really hard. And hopefully I'm gonna start preparing to become a doctor for next year. Yes, I'm very sad. If you can hear background noises, that's my family, I'm sorry. I'm just really sad about everything. I feel like I deserved more because I worked for more. And I know that in countries like France, England, Denmark, it's not like that. It's not important the final grade that you get at this exam, at the baccalaureate exam. It's important the grades that you gathered throughout the last years of high school. But I didn't apply to go there. I wanted to become a doctor in Romania. That was my dream. And now I can't even apply in France, even if I wanted to, because the application time is over. I have no choice. I just have to apply to either state, which I just said the name of the country. This is why I blurred. I have to stay here, or I can go to Romania and study for something else. Of course, I'm not gonna stay here. I'm not. I'm just gonna go apply for something else while I'm gonna prepare for the next year to apply as a doctor. Of course, I'm gonna try my luck this year too. Maybe I'm gonna get accepted. But all these years, the people that got accepted in medicine, in med school, they had only 10s. like only 10, 10, 10, 10. I don't have that. I don't have that, even though I worked really hard and it makes me want to cry. It's fine. I'm gonna stay strong, and I'm not going to let the people decide my future. I'm gonna decide my future for me. I think that I think it might be for the best. Maybe I wasn't meant to become a doctor, but then why else would I sacrifice my last years of childhood to study so much, to ace my chemistry test, to participate in different kinds of things for school, for the village, for the country? Why did I work so hard for? Why? I guess we'll never know. Thank you for listening. I hope I didn't sound too spoiled. I just wanted to get my feelings out there. And maybe if you're in the same situation as me, which I don't think you are, but maybe somehow you are, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Stay strong. And this is for the better for us. We're just not meant to be, I guess. We're not meant to be. This is how the country's system is set up. And I don't think it's worth fighting for something that is already corrupted. We'll just find something else to do in life. Maybe somehow we'll get the opportunity that we wanted. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. You can always talk to me. I love talking to people. Thank you again for listening. Bye.